Mike T, who's got a very interesting take on the MVP, and Bart Scott. And let's talk about the game of the night.
We get Patron?
Greenie didn't tell me about that. Sign me up, man. All right, we got the game of the night. It's the game of the year. Let's start with Lamar Jackson coming in already as the MVP favorite, taking on Joe Burrow. And early in the third, the Bengals take a 2-touchdown lead. Big reason why. No one's covering Jamar Chase.
They was trying to cover him, no, Cam. Nobody can tackle him. Look at the way he's running away from the Baltimore Ravens defenders. We've seen this time and time again with this team.
The game would turn right here. Chase Brown getting the ball, and then he puts it on the rug. And here comes Marlon Humphrey ripping the ball. The Ravens recover, and now they've got the momentum.
And when you're a defense that can't stop anybody, you have to get extra possessions by turning the ball over. Marlon Humphrey's Johnny on the spot. He has a knack for this.
All right.
He did it 2 times. He had the interception in the first meeting of these 2 teams.
Here comes the drive that everybody's talking about, at least to this point
Man, this
in
ain't
the game.
fair, man. They should get a 12th defender.
This is 2nd and 9, and he runs 58 yards. We counted, and he gets the first down.
Your routine 10-yard gain.
For Lamar Jackson, absolutely. And then that sets up King Henry going in for the score.
King Henry didn't have a big night, but this was a physical run at the goal line. Scores again in every game for the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, early in the fourth quarter, the fireworks. Here we go. Tylan Wallace.
Tackle him.
Loaf.
Run. That's a loaf.
I am William Wallace, and there he goes.
That's a loaf.
Tiptoeing down, and you said a loaf. Why? What happened?
2 loaves. Both of those guys were jogging, expecting Cam Taylor-Britt to make the tackle. That's why Logan Wilson is stiff arm there, and that's why Geno Stone misses as well right here.
Justin Tucker missed the extra point, so it's 21-20. Here we go.
He ain't been the same since Travis Kelce kicked his little placeholder.
Next Ravens drive here. Jackson to Mark Andrews. They get the 2.
This was a great route, right? This was supposed to be a crossing route, and they turned it to a vertical route. That's some new stuff. Nice wrinkle.
Ravens fans feeling really good, and then the very next play in the Bengals on offense, and there he goes, Jamar Chase.
We may want to cover him.
Keep your eyes on your luggage. What are you looking at?
No
Marcus
Kyle Hamilton.
Williams.
Remember, Kyle Hamilton is not in the game.
And I like the petty.
Because Lamar had just done
I love the petty. I'm here for all the
He's
smoke.
from New Orleans.
It's a great back and forth. Okay, no Hamilton in the secondary for the Ravens. So Lamar, under 2 minutes to go, creating and then the float.
A little jump pass.
Beautiful touch.
Yeah, take that, Chase. 5 fingers say to the face. Smack!
Fine for Sean Bateman, yes. And here we go. Jackson is hyped now. The Bengals get the ball. 1:36 left. 4th and 10. What are you going to do? You got options, Burrow. You got options, and you find Andre Yosivash, and that's a first down.
From Princeton.
From Princeton.
Yeah.
That's how he knew the exact millimeter that he needed to get 10 yards.
All right, just over a minute left. 64 seconds to be exact. And Burrow to, guess who? Chase.
Jamar Chase. Burrow stands in the heat. He gets hit in the pocket.
How's he not double?
Excellent route by Jamar Chase.
How is he not double? But that roughing the passer, you mentioned RC, and that extends it. They move into the red zone. 42 seconds left. 3rd and 3. This is the best ball of the night. Perfect spot for number 1.
Listen, this is the pass that you're supposed to throw. Give your guy the only chance to catch the football. Jamar Chase climbs the ladder, gets both feet in. You only wish they would have went to him one more time.
Okay, we all believe this is the right call, going for it for 2.
100% no-brainer.
Okay, so 38 seconds left. Down 1, they go for 2. The ball doesn't find Jamar Chase. It goes to Tanner Hudson in that direction. No whistle. What did you guys see?
Well, one, I see a Manu Ginobili flop right here.
Oh, Mike Gesicki goes down wanting it. And then no call here on Burrow.
Yeah, and again, 2 weeks ago, Sam Darnold, no call on him in the end zone. But the other thing was that they doubled both tight ends, and Jamar Chase was singled. I'm surprised the ball didn't go to him.
What a game. Can we have more maybe in the playoffs afterwards, Burrow and Chase?
Playoffs?
Did you see Gesicki get held on that? Did you get hit in the face on that? I mean, they could have called a couple of things there, it looked like.
Yeah, you're not getting those calls in that situation for the most part.
Were you open on the 2-point conversion?
Yeah, I'm always open.
It was covered like a blanket,
That was
man.
his second best quote of the week, too.
Yeah, I didn't study in school.
When they asked him, is preparing for Thursday night like cramming for a test in school, and he said, I didn't study in school.
Hey,
He didn't have to study.
I was once told at LSU, right?
Yeah.
Is academics first, football second.
I didn't go.
Doing much
For those who are listening, just look at the hands that he has up, specifically talking about that. And it looks like the Ravens didn't study that you have to cover number one, specifically. Now, you said he wasn't open. We've got the all-22s. Our great staff brought in some video this morning. We got a one-on-one matchup here, specifically on the left side. What did you see?
Well, first of all, this is a tremendous job by Stevenson for undercutting the route. But you can tell that the way that Jamar Chase came off, that he knew that he wasn't the initial receiver. You can tell that the two tight ends knew that they were live, and they got doubled by the Ravens on both sides, because before this happened, it was a timeout, and they changed the play. Before they had the motion 3-by-1, that was the play that you really want to go to Jamar Chase, because he has tremendous space. He had the slant available to him. He had the fade to him. He had the back shoulder fade. But once they did that, the way that Jamar Chase came off the ball, I can tell that he wasn't the initial receiver. You had a 5'8" slot backup against a 6'5", basically baby Jokic out there, and he pushed off. The same way you can say that you can call holding on Gesicki, you can say illegal hands to the face, you could have called holding on that lineman that was getting trucked, you could call a push off on an intended receiver. So just let the guys play.
Who'd you initially play for?
A face mask there on Burrow. Like,
hold up, who did Jamar Chase play for?
No, you.
Okay, yeah, we know where your
but then,
too.
Mike,
look right here.
Did you
He's
see
going underhook. He's going to put his arm underneath Marlon Humphrey. Oh, you're fly.
Hey, Kevin, we don't, if they call these penalties, in fairness, we don't know if they get them from the one. But I would say this, there's a great axiom that applies. In these sorts of moments, it's players, not plays. And the way Jamar Chase has played all season, let alone last night, give him a chance to win the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he wasn't the primary read, then they needed to call a different play. Like, that ball needs to go in his hands. He has been winning them the game all night. But yes, they would have still, if they got the penalty called, they still would have had to get in from the one. And there's 38 seconds. Like, the opposing team's quarterback is Batman. Like, they're probably getting into field goal range to win that game anyway. So, no, it's a shame. Like, to the extent that officiating ever decides a game, you don't want to see it. But
Orr's go-to in any of these critical moments is cover zero, right? You know that he's going to bring pressure. And I think when he saw the motion on the first play, he thought that they would possibly move Jamar Chase to the inside and try to get him the football, because if you're going to go time out there and you know that once you motion over the 3-by-1, you have Jamar Chase backside, why not give him that opportunity?
So the timeout cost them, right?
Yeah, I believe the timeout cost them. I believe you had everything that you could possibly want on the first play, and sometimes you get paralysis by analysis, and you're thinking, okay, watch, I'm going to trick him. I'm going to throw the ball to Tanner Hudson. No, don't trick me, right? Throw the ball to the guy that's been delivering the entire night.
also, the limitations on this Bengals offense right now are on display there too, because the ball has to come out quick because there's no protection.
On the left side.
No threat of a run game. Like, there's absolutely no chance that they can run the ball. If the Ravens are doing that play, you got to watch out for Derrick Henry. The Bengals don't have that.
Bart brought that up in the earlier hour. Joe Mixon's a really good player, and it's a 2-yard play. So again, if Joe Mixon is there, it really changes everything.
You don't have Orlando Brown. You don't have T. Higgins. That plays a huge role, and then Mixon's no longer on the team.
But Kevin, with that said, and why I think Cincinnati has hope, they had 470 yards on a short week on the road without T. Higgins.
How many of these games that you should have won against the top teams can you give away? They had 2 games against Baltimore they should have won, a game against Kansas City they should have won. Yeah, that's great, but like they're going to be heavy favorites in the Shoulda Bowl, but I don't know if they're going to get.
They'll be going against the Jets in the Shoulda Bowl.
And there's going to be a lot of regret because of Lamar Jackson. And when you look at the numbers, they're ridiculous. He's already the reigning MVP. Let's compare this season to last season. Are you kidding me? The right side, 24 passing touchdowns already.
Plus 14,
just
Mike
2 picks and more rushing yards than a year ago when he was the MVP. We all are in agreement here that he is the MVP, right? Like, it feels like everybody, right?
Who could feel otherwise?
MVP, right?
I agree. This message is authentic.
I'd say he's the penultimate MVP. And he's having a great season. But again, the very
what's the but?
I don't know.
I'm telling you the definition of the word value. If you take the word Jaden Daniels out of the Commanders, where would the Commanders be for the last decade? He has transformed this whole organization. Adam Schefter was reporting players want to go there now. They've made trade. But my point is, like, he has been transformational. And RC, I know you made the point that, maybe we don't give Lamar that credit because he's already done that. And Lamar's having a great season. This is nothing against Lamar. I'm just saying what we're seeing what Jaden Daniels is doing has reinvigorated a franchise that for over a decade, Kevin, has been moribund, disappointing, whatever you want to call it. And now, look, the Commanders have 2 games in 5 days?
Yes,
and they have a puncher's chance to win the NFC
in the Keystone State against the Steelers and then against the Eagles.
Newsflash: everybody wants to go where they got a rookie quarterback and a lot of salary cap space.
That's right.
That's nothing new, Mike.
Get your money.
Everybody want to go to Houston last
Wait a
year,
second.
right?
You ran that play on me.
Here are the
Absolutely.
graphics here. You got it, Mike T. Now, let's take a look at some of the numbers. And
Touchdown to interceptions.
the one thing that stands out is just the entire organizational turnaround with Daniels. And you know what? Your case could be stronger next Friday. I'll put in the notes and tell Greeny to ask you the question again because Daniels and the Commanders facing the Steelers and Eagles in the next 5 days.
Yeah, and if they win those two, or even split, they have a puncher's chance to win the division. And if we were sitting here 3 months ago, guys, and the five of us were having a discussion, if we said the Commanders were 500, we'd be like, oh, that's a good season for them. And they have totally exceeded expectations.
Yeah, you don't give out the MVP based on the handicap, though.
Right.
Like that's not the thing. We're not looking at it and saying, okay, we didn't expect the Commanders to be here.
Right.
The Commanders are here because of Jaden Daniels' play. Nobody is taking that away from them, but this is like the GOAT conversation, right? We don't need to say something bad about one of these guys to say the other one is better. Lamar Jackson is just better because he's better than everyone in the NFL at this point. And for him to continue to ascend after already being a two-time MVP, it talks about the work he's done, but also adding a Derrick Henry and Todd Monken and him to kind of finding that cohesion between one
He's
another.
got to be Superman, and that's a discussion we're going to continue to have because the Ravens' defense is awful. And right now, that could be the difference from them making to the Super Bowl in the conversation that you brought up.
Dang, it might be his kryptonite.
He is Peyton Manning from 15 years ago, and right now Mahomes is Tom Brady. We got one side that wins it all, and then another side where it's just offense. You need that defense to turn things around. Again,